Good day, senior high school students of AICS in different campuses. I am Ms. Regine Maribay de Guzman, the senior high school counselor assigned in Bacoor campus. Our topic for today's webinar is about managing anxiety during trying times. Before we proceed, let us go with the objectives of this webinar to prior understand what this is all about. The objective of this webinar is to identify, understand, and intervene anxiety in school setting, including in-person and online formats. Second is to understand how implementation of effective anxiety coping strategies can promote resilience to students. What we are going to tackle is its definition, its origin, signs and symptoms, advantages and disadvantages, and the ways on how we can cope with anxiety. So, to fully dig deeper into what anxiety is all about, let's take a look into its definition. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling of fear, dread, and uneasiness. It might cause you to sweat, feel restless and tense, and have a rapid heartbeat. It can also be a normal reaction to stress. A perfect example of this one is when we are about to take the exam. For example, board examinations. Yung kaba mo, kahit nag-prepare ka ng sobrang tagal, kahit pa sabihin mo nag-prepare ka ng 3 months sa review, sa school, sa pag-aaral, minsan may mga nabubuo tayong unwanted thoughts sa ating pag-iisip na hindi natin maipapasa ang exam. Na minsan, hindi pa nangyayari yung mga bagay-bagay, iniisip na natin na babagsak tayo. At dahil dyan, hindi tayo makatulog, nagkakaroon tayo ng initial reaction na inis, na agad tayong nagagalit sa tao, natatakot tayong lumabas ng bahay kasi iniisip natin na alam ng taong nag-exam tayo, pero iniisip natin na ang nasa isip nila hindi tayo papasa. So, yun ang pinaka-thought niyan. Minsan, may mga bagay-bagay na hindi pa naman nangyayari, pero naiisip na natin kung ano ang mangyayari. Anxiety becomes a problem when it is already overwhelming, unmanageable, and it comes up unexpectedly. It becomes a problem when it causes your day-to-day activity hard to live with, and it comes constant in a sense that you cannot control it anymore. In that sense, that may result to a much deeper problem, or in other words, an anxiety disorder. Let's make it simpler. The explanation goes this way. If nangyayari siya overnight at kaya mo siyang ma-stop within the day, meaning it is normal. Pero if it happens na hindi mo na siya makontrol or unmanageable na siya, na nagiging trouble na siya sa iyong day-to-day activity, that means that maaari na itong mag-fall sa category ng anxiety disorder. Now, for us to get to know deeper about this, let's take a look into the difference between a normal anxiety and anxiety disorder. When do we say that anxiety is already a problem? Kailan natin masasabi na ang ating anxiety ay hindi na nakakatulong sa ating buhay? Nagiging cause na siya ng problema. The second type of anxiety disorder is phobia. A phobia is a type of anxiety disorder. It is a strong, irrational fear of something that possesses little or no actual danger. Perfect example of this one is, halimbawa, may taong takot sa tubig. Makakita lang siya ng tubig, ayaw niya ng kumilos. Bigla siyang nanigas kasi pakiramdam niya malulunod siya. Those hydrophobic persons are afraid of seeing water because they think that whenever they see bodies of water, they have nabuo na sa pag-iisip nila yung takot na maaring may mangyari sa kanila. Kapag may nakita silang tubig, maaaring malunod sila, mamatay sila, or madisgrasya sila. That is the perfect example of phobia. Or, 'Pag takot kang maindeksyonan, that's what you call trichophobia. Puwede ring nasa malaking mataas na space ka, bigla kang nalingat sobrang 3,000 feet above sea level na pala siya. Bigla kang nahimatay kasi may fear of heights ka pala. Those person, actually, those persons who experience those kinds of phobias, we cannot question how they feel kasi ang bawat isa may kanya-kanyang phobia. May takot sa palaka, may takot sa aso, may takot sa space, na hindi na sila biglang makahinga. So, it is a combination of irrational feelings, strong thought na hindi naman magkakos ng danger, pero pakiramdam nila sa tuwing makikita nila yung mga yun, may mangyayaring masama sa. Anxiety disorders are mental health conditions that involve excessive amount of anxiety, fear, nervousness, worry, or dread. That is too constant or too intense can cause a person to feel preoccupied, distracted, tense, and always on alert. When when a person experience anxiety disorder, ito na yung pinaka, kumbaga, it is much more heavier than having a normal anxiety kasi anxiety disorders are no longer controllable. It can already affect our day-to-day living. Kahit simpleng bagay lang nagwo-worry ka na, hindi na nag-stop yung worry mo, natatakot ka na kahit lumabas ka ng bahay, kahit nag-prepare ka for the examinations, nag-review ka, there's this feeling na hindi ka papasa or hindi mo maipapasa lahat ng exam mo. Kasi nabuo na sa pag-iisip mo yung takot. Kumbaga hindi na mape-prevent, hindi na naalis sa isip mo yung takot, yung worry, nade-distract ka na, nape-preoccupied ka na, hindi ka na nakakapag-isip ng maayos. So in that sense, it is possible na meron ka ng anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders are among the most common mental health conditions. It is present sa mga bata, sa mga adults, sa mga teenagers, students, professionals, and all people in the all walks of life. Kasi it is the most common disorder na mabilis din naman siyang ma-prevent, pero there's the case na hindi din siya mape-prevent. So we need to ask for the help of the medical professionals in order for us to prevent it. There are many different types of anxiety disorders with different symptoms. They all have one thing in common: thought. Anxiety occurs too often, is too strong, is out of proportion to the present situation, and affects a person's daily life and happiness. So yun na, naapektuhan na niya ang ating kasiyahan, on how we deal with our situation in our day-to-day lives. Kumbaga, hindi na tayo nagkakaroon ng satisfaction. Hindi na nabubuo yung satisfaction. Ang nabubuo sa atin, takot, worry, pangamba sa mga bagay-bagay na hindi pa naman nangyayari. Now, let's discuss normal anxiety. Normal anxiety are normal reaction to stress and difficult times. It may be triggered by a specific stressor. It has a start and ending point. It can be helpful or motivational. It lessens significantly or disappear away from stressful situation. It can also be relaxing often and makes you feel better. And it is a normal reaction to a toxic situation. Meaning, if these things happen na kaya pa siyang ma-prevent in the day-to-day setup, it falls under the category of normal anxiety. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, in taking the examination, meron tayo agad unwanted thoughts na nabubuo sa ating pag-iisip na hindi natin maipapasa ang exam. But it it only runs in an overnight setting. Matatapos din siya kinabukasan. Another example is a response to toxic situation. For example, in school, in the university, when you are about to enter college, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-influx ang number ng activities, projects, presentations, and other stuffs in relation to academe pagdating ng kolehiyo. Minsan, dahil sa punong-puno na yung pag-iisip natin ng mga bagay-bagay, we are already fed up with things. Ang nagiging normal reaction natin sa toxic situation ay mabilis tayong magalit, mairita, dahil hindi na tayo nakakapag-isip ng tama. Pero at the end of the day, pag naipahinga natin ang sarili natin, na i-relax natin ang mga utak natin, makakaisip na tayo ng paraan kung paano ito maayos. So, pag sa transition na yun, malalaman mo na yung normal reaction mo into the toxic situation is nag-reverse from negative into positive. Nag-stop na yung positive thoughts mo kasi nakapag-isip ka ng maayos. So meaning, nag-end na rin dun yung worry at fear mo na hindi mo maipapasa ang exam, ang subjects mo, ang projects mo in school. That is considered as normal anxiety. Let's get to discuss general anxiety disorder. Generalized anxiety disorder involves persistent and excessive worry that interferes with daily activities. This ongoing worry and tension may be accompanied by physical symptoms such as restlessness, feeling on edge or easily fatigued, difficulty concentrating, muscle tension, or problems in sleeping. A common feature of this one is our worries may have a chain effect with each other, meaning yung worry natin nagkakaroon ng connection sa bawat isa, nagiging konektado siya. Example, we have uh, to write a report about our subject or in in our work. For example, for the working students sa mga trabaho nila, nagwo-worry tayo kung yung report ba na magagawa natin is maipe-present natin ng maayos or naiisip natin na ima-mock tayo ng mga manonood kasi hindi tayo nakapag-present ng hindi natin na i-present, feeling natin hindi natin i-present ng maayos yung report. Or sometimes, nafe-feel din natin na ang magiging initial reaction nun dahil pakiramdam natin, hindi natin na-i-present ng maayos ang ating report ay maaari tayong matanggal sa trabaho o magkaroon ng failing grade. Because due to that chain effect that we always think about, we get to feel that we are not worthy enough of presenting good things within the crowd, that we always feel that we did not do our best, and in that kind of thinking that we have, we already made an impression within ourselves that we cannot do the best, and we can immediately get an unreasonable response to people whom are we presenting our reports, our tasks in school. Naiisip na natin na hindi maganda ang katutunguhan ng bagay-bagay. The second type of anxiety disorder is phobia. A phobia is a type of anxiety disorder. It is a strong, irrational fear of something that possesses little or no actual danger. Perfect example of this one is, halimbawa, may taong takot sa tubig. Makakita lang siya ng tubig, ayaw niya ng kumilos. Bigla siyang nanigas kasi pakiramdam niya malulunod siya. Those hydrophobic persons are afraid of seeing water because they think that whenever they see bodies of water, they have nabuo na sa pag-iisip nila yung takot na maaring may mangyari sa kanila kapag may nakita silang tubig. Maaaring malunod sila, mamatay sila, or madisgrasya sila. That is the perfect example of phobia. Or, pag takot kang ma-indeksyonan, that's what you call trichophobia. Pwede ring nasa malaking mataas na space ka. Bigla kang nalingat, sobrang 3,000 feet above sea level na pala siya. Bigla kang nahimatay kasi may fear of heights ka pala. Those person actually those persons who experience those kinds of phobias, we cannot question how they feel kasi ang bawat isa may kanya-kanyang phobia. May takot sa palaka, may takot sa aso, may takot sa space, na hindi na sila biglang makahinga. So, it is a combination of irrational feelings, strong thought na hindi naman magkakos ng danger, pero pakiramdam nila sa tuwing makikita nila yung mga yun, may mangyayaring masama sa
Okay, so let's proceed to social phobia or social anxiety. So, social anxiety disorder is an intense, persistent fear of being watched and judged by others. So, this fear can affect work, school, and other daily activities. It can even make it hard to make and keep friendship. So, it is the fear of being humiliated or of being embarrassed and even being rejected. So at first when there is some kind of distress, okay, so ang tendency niyan may avoid people dahil iniisip mo na baka mamaya natatakot ka na baka mamaya makahiya ka or reject ka. So, yun ang social phobia and social anxiety. Okay, separation anxiety disorder is an excessive worry and fear about being apart from family members or individuals to whom a child is most attached. So, normal stage of development for infants and toddlers, those children will outgrow their separation anxiety once na mag-reach na sila ng 3 years old. So, diba? Okay, so, paano naman natin masasabi na hindi na siya normal or you were being diagnosed na meron kang separation anxiety? So, when the symptoms are excessive for the developmental age and causes significant distress in daily functioning. So, hindi ka na ayaw mo na malayo sa bahay or sa family mo. Kasi ang family and ang house natin is one of the best example ng ating safest place. So, yun. Kapag umaalis tayo, kapag meron ka separation anxiety at aalis ka doon sa bahay mo, iiwan mo yung family mo, nagkakaroon ka ng anxiety kasi ang thinking mo kapag wala ka doon sa bahay o hindi mo kasama yung loved ones mo, may mangyayari sama or hindi ka magiging safe or yung family mo hindi magiging safe pag wala ka doon. So, nagkakaroon ka ng anxiety. Okay. And next, panic disorder. So, is an anxiety disorder characterized by unexpected and repeated episodes of intense fear, accompanied by physical symptoms that may include chest pain, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, dizziness, or abdominal distress. So, you may feel terrified and overwhelmed even though you are not in danger. So, wala ka sa sitwasyon na feeling mo naman malig yung buhay mo. Pero ang pakiramdam mo, nagpapanik ka. Nagpapanik ka na walang dahilan. Okay, next. So, where does anxiety come from? So, saan ba nagmula ang anxiety? Anxiety disorders are like other forms of mental illness. They don't come from personal weakness, character flaws, or problems with upbringing. But researchers don't know exactly what causes anxiety disorders. So they suspect a combination of factors plays a role. So ito yun, yung base sa research nila. Okay, so number one is chemical imbalance. So, severe or long-lasting stress can change the chemical balance that controls your mood. Experiencing a lot of stress over a long period can lead to an anxiety disorder. So, meron tayong tinatawag na neurotransmitters. So, yung neurotransmitters ay ito yung serotonin, dopamine, and others. So, these neurotransmitters are in charge of regulating various bodily and mental functions. So, yun siya. So, kapag nagkaroon ng imbalance, either mas mataas yung serotonin mo kesa sa dopamine level mo, ganun, doon siya nagkakaroon ng imbalance. Okay, so in their environmental factors. So experiencing a trauma might trigger an anxiety disorder, especially in someone who has inherited a higher risk to start. So the environment is basically everything outside of you. So lahat ng nakikita mo, lahat ng naririnig mo, it includes not just nature and the biological, but also the social as well. All of it can cause stress and contribute to anxiety. So, lahat ng nakikita mo. Like for example, nagkaroon ka ng trauma dahil nakita mo nag-aaway doon sa lugar mo nag-aaway. So, nung nakita mo yun, nagkaroon ka ng very traumatic incident. So, yung environment is one of the reasons, okay, kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng anxiety. Heredity. So, anxiety disorders tend to run in families. So, you may inherit them from one or both parents, like I call her. So, sabi nga, you're more likely to inherit anxiety if a close family member has it. Okay? So, instead of a more distant relative. So, close family members, yung close family member, your parents, your siblings, sila yung close family member. So, more likely to na magkaroon ka rin kapag family, isa sa close family mo ang meron. Okay, so let's proceed to advantages and disadvantages of anxiety. Okay, so number one na advantage niya is anxiety make you smarter. Okay, so nakakatalino pa rin, no? So, a person who tends to be anxious may also be highly intelligent. So, they can be incredible researchers, critical thinkers, and analyzers. So, sa dami ng mga pinaprocess nila sa na-process nilang thoughts, nagiging sila critical thinkers. Number two, isa sa advantage is need to protect yourselves. Fear is designed to keep you safe from danger. So, diba kapag na-atake ka na, diba nga, anxiety is a fear. So, yung fear na yun, ang tendency sa nila, puprotektahan mo yung sarili mo. Kasi natatakot ka. Sila yung iniisip mo, wala, baka mangyari sa akin ito, kailangan extra careful ako. So, the need to protect yourself. Okay, number 4, number 3, directs you whatever needs your attention. So, if a thought or situation causes anxiety, your mind and body are likely trying to tell you that there is something that you need to address. So, ito din lang pala nakikip na naiisip natin na yung mga bagay na dapat na mas binibigyan natin ng attention kapag meron kang anxiety. Okay, number 4 is to discover your fullest potential. Okay, anxiety is often used as a tool to help you push yourself to your limit. So, ano naman, kapag na-push mo yung sarili mo to your limit na limit mo yung iyong fullest potential or nararating mo yung fullest potential. Number 5 provides energy necessary for taking action. So, the energy that fuels anxious thoughts and behavior is giving you what you need to take action. So, water up energy na binibigay kapag meron kang anxiety ay nag-fuel sa iyong anxious thoughts para kumilas ka. Number 6 can teach you to find balance in life. Okay, so practicing responding to anxiety in purposeful ways can guide the process of finding balance in every aspect of your life. So, sa dami ng thoughts na pumapasok sa isip ng isang taong merong anxiety, halos lahat ng aspects ng kanyang buhay ay napag-isipan niya. So, wala siyang nililib na kahit isa. Sa dami ng thoughts na nagkakaroon ng balance, ay wala siyang nakakalimutan kahit isa. Kasi nga, lahat yung naisip, lahat ng kasulok-sulukan na bibigyan niya ng time para i-overthink, isipin. Okay, number 1, disadvantage na is anxiety can make it difficult for you to focus. So, it can be very difficult to focus when your mind is consumed with thoughts. Yun nga lang, sa dami ng thoughts na pumapasok sa isip natin, nakakalimutan, nagkakaroon tayo ng difficulty mag-focus. So, number 2, anxiety can make it challenging to remember big and small things. Okay? So, kung lahat na iisip niya, meron din mga bagay na nahihirapan siya i-remember or tandaan. So, it can also lead to forgetting things as focus and concentration is critical for forming and consolidating memories. Yeah. Number 3, it would impact your self-esteem. So, may impact pala siya sa self-esteem natin. Kasi yung fears o yung ating worries will make us doubt ourselves or our abilities to handle situations. So, pag may anxiety ka, pag may fear ka, so napipigilan yung sarili mo na or nagda-doubt ka sa sarili mo na kaya mo gawin itong gawin na ito kasi nga nire-restrict mo yung sarili mo dahil sa takot. Okay. Number 4, it could cause you to experience nightmares or vivid dreams. So, anxiety and stress during the day can stay with you overnight, causing us to have sleep problems that make it difficult to get rest. So, dahil iniisip mo siya maghapon, lahat ng bagay iniisip mo, ino-overthink mo, lahat ng thoughts na masok sa isip mo, kaya nagkakaroon ng nightmares or vivid dreams. So, lastly, number 5, it would be difficult for you to sit still. So, when your mind is having difficulties because of body may struggle to stay still. So, di ba kapag kinakabahan ka, anxious ka, minsan, makatayo ka lang, tapos palakad-lakad ka, no? Kasi, anxious ka eh, kabahan ka tayo, sa dami mo iniisip, nakakalimutan mo lang ang yung kumalma. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng difficulty na ikaw ay umirme ng paupo ka lang nag-iisip. Kaya kapag may anxiety ka, yun, isa yun sa mga reasons kung bakit siya naging disadvantage. Okay, so distracted ka, dahil iniisip, yung thoughts mo wala ka sa focus, kaya nagsistruggle. Okay, so that's the end of the presentation of Ms. Regime Maribay de Guzman, your guidance counselor at AICS Bacoor Campus. So let's proceed to Ma'am Jenny's topic, our guidance counselor at AICS Tanay.
Good day everyone, I'm Miss Julie Ann Timtiman, the Guidance Counselor of AICS Tanay. So earlier, Ma'am Regime already discussed the definition of anxiety. So kung saan ito nagmula at kung saan ito nanggaling. So now, let's move on to my topic, which is the signs and symptoms of high-functioning anxiety na tinatawag. So, what is high-functioning anxiety? High-functioning anxiety typically refers to someone who experiences anxiety while still managing daily life quite well. So, generally, a person with high-functioning anxiety may appear put together and well accomplished on the outside, yet experience worry, stress, and have obsessive thoughts on the inside. So, ayan ang picture ng ating pag ikaw ay may high-functioning anxiety na tinatawag. So, ngayon, nandito ko para i-discuss kung paano nga ba natin malalaman o paano natin malalaman na na-experience na natin itong high-functioning anxiety na tinatawag. So, ito daw ay kasama na sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay na kaya natin siyang manipulahin o i-manage. What it's like living with high-functioning anxiety. Meron tayong mga example dito na ibibigay. So, how do I look on the outside? Okay, nandyan yung outgoing, punctual, driven, detail-oriented, helpful, loyal, calm, organized, and friendly. So, ito naman yung ating pakiramdam sa ating pangloob or how it feels on the inside. Yan. Overthinking, catastrophic thinking, 6 reassurance, perfectionist, negative self-talk, repetitive habits, can't sleep, second-guessing, and people-pleasing. Yan yung ating mga nararamdaman kapag tayo ay may high-functioning anxiety na tinatawag. Okay, learning to recognize when kapag tayo ay anxious, then emotional, physical. So, tingnan natin kung ano nga ba ang negative effects nito sa ating isip, sa ating emosyon, at sa ating physical na pangangatawan. Okay, paano nga ba natin malalaman at maiintindihan? Learning to recognize when you're anxious, emotional, and then physical. Dito malalaman natin kung ano nga ba ang ating nararamdaman, kung ano ang negative effects. Ito ang ating sample when it comes to our anxious. Ayan, ano nga ba ang anxious? Experiencing worry, unease, or nervousness. So, typically about imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. Ito yung mga sample natin ng anxious. Nandyan yung worrying or nag-aalala tayo. And then, difficulty concentrating. So, wala tayong focus. Okay? And then, feeling pressure and hurried tayo. Para tayong lagi nape-pressure sa mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari. So, kasama yun sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Hindi naman nawawala yung pag-aalala. So, ayan. Pasok din yung apprehension na tinatawag. So, lagi tayong may pangamba sa bawat ginagawa natin. Okay? And then, nervousness. Hindi ito nawawala, lalo na't halimbawa sa trabaho, and then sa pamilya, kasi kasama na natin ang mga ito sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay. When it comes to emotional naman tayo, okay? Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feeling of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes like increased blood pressure. So, sa ating emotional, ito yung mga nangyayari. For example, ayan, overthinking, overanalyzing, and then, yan, may frustration tayo lagi. Hindi nawawala ang frustration, and then anticipatory anxiety, irritability. So, irritable tayo. Lagi tayong madaling mairita sa mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa atin. Lalo na kung tayo ay may mga kanya-kanyang dinadalang problema. So, when it comes to physical, people with high-functioning anxiety are often able to accomplish tasks and appear to function well in social situations, including intense feelings of impending doom, fear, anxiety, rapid heart rate, and gastrointestinal distress. So, ayan, dyan na pumapasok. So, naapektuhan na yung ating isip, yung ating pagkatao, and then yung ating physical na pangangatayan ng stomach pain, nauseous, or digestive trouble. Ayan, nagkakaroon na rin tayo ng headache, insomnia, other sleep issues, nagkakaroon tayo niyan. Then, weakness or fatigue. Rapid breathing, kasali na rin. Shortness of breath, pounding heart, nagkakaroon tayo niyan. Increase of heart rate na tinatawag. Nagkakaroon din tayo ng sweating, trembling, and shaking. May muscle pain na rin tayo na nangyayari. So, yan yung mga bagay nagkakaroon tayo sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay. Okay. So, magbibigay na lamang ako ng tips on how to deal with these signs and symptoms of high-functioning anxiety. So, write it out daw, and then use fragrance, then talk to someone who gets it. So, mahirap naman makipag-usap tayo sa taong hindi tayo maiintindihan. So, dapat ito ay may mga taong nakakaintindi sa atin, which is kailangan natin. So, find a mantra daw, pwede rin yun. Yung mga pangontra na tinatawag, kung kayo ay naniniwala sa mga mantra na tinatawag. Then, walk it off. Maglakad-lakad daw tayo. Yan. Then, drink water. Yan ang isa sa pinaka-importanteng bagay na ginagawa natin. Tayo ay uminom ng tubig. Then, take a time out. So, ayan. Yan yung tinatawag na unwind. Mag-unwind tayo. Mamasyal tayo para ma-release yung stress na meron tayo. And then, eat well, balanced meal. Kailangan din, may mga nutritious tayong nakukuha sa ating kakainin or mga healthy foods ang ating kakainin. Then, limit alcohol and caffeine. Limitahan natin ang pag-inom ng alak or alcohol, and then ang pagkakape na din. So, ito daw kasi ay nakaka-trigger ng panic attacks natin. Get enough sleep. So, 7 hours minimum of sleep, kailangan yun. And then, exercise daily to help you feel good and maintain your health. And then, take a deep breath. So, inhale, exhale tayo. Okay? Count to 10 slowly. So, magbilang daw tayo. Then, do your best. May mga pagkakataon talaga na tayo ay may stress sa mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa atin dahil hindi naman lahat positive yun nangyayari. So, meron pa rin mga negative na nangyayari sa atin. Kaya dapat ready tayo. Then, physically active if you're able. And then, exercise can help reduce stress and improve physical health. One of the importance na kailangan nating malaman or matutunan dito sa pagharap natin sa high functioning anxiety. Okay? Avoid alcohol, caffeine, nicotine. Any of this can make anxiety worse. Then try relaxation. Yan. Then prioritize ang ating pagtulog. So, self-care of high-functioning anxiety. Itong mga ito. So, yan ang, pero ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, tayo ay mag-pray. Kasi, makakaya natin ang bawat stress, bawat problema na kinakaharap natin, syempre kung tayo ay magpe-pray. So, para mabawasan yung ating mga worry, apprehension, mga pangamba, at mga problema na rin sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. So, hindi naman yun nawawala. So, ang pinaka-importante sa lahat ay mag-pray tayo. And that's all for today. Thank you so much. So, now, let's move to the topic of Ma'am Nikki. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Regine and Ma'am Jenny. Now, I will be the one to discuss about the ways to manage anxiety during COVID-19 pandemic and how to help someone with anxiety. Number 1, slow breathing. When you're anxious, your breathing becomes faster and shallower. So try deliberately slowing down your breathing. Count to 3 as you breathe in slowly, then count to 3 as you breathe out slowly. So if we are experiencing anxiety, ang air passage natin ay sumisikip, causing us to breathe ng mabilis at mababaw or shallow. Dapat may interval ang paghinga, at least 3 seconds para tayo kumalma. Number 2, take small acts of bravery. Avoiding what makes you anxious provides some relief in the short term, but can make you more anxious in the long term. Try approaching something that makes you anxious even in a small way. The way through anxiety is by learning that what you fear isn't likely to happen, and if it does, you'll be able to cope with it. So sabi nga nila, face your fears. Ang pag-iwas sa mga bagay na nakakapagdulot sa atin ng anxiety ay magbibigay lamang ng panandaliang ginhawa, so hindi siya long-term solution. Number 3, stay connected virtually. So reaching out to loved ones is important and can be done through phone calls, texting, email, and video calls. Consider hosting virtual meetings with your loved ones or through Messenger. Human connection can lower stress and anxiety levels and build camaraderie. So it is very important to stay connected, especially during these times. You need to have a meaningful conversation with your friends and family because this will help you to avoid overthinking things. Number 4, practice self-care habits. So take a few moments to care for yourself each day, such as soaking in a long soothing bath, listening to calming or upbeat music, getting plenty of sleep, and eating healthy food. These habits can help whether you are working inside or outside the home. So you also need to take care and pamper yourself by getting enough sleep, eating healthy, listening to your favorite music, or watching your favorite series or movie. Okay, and even online shopping, yung Shopee, Lazada, yan, makakatulong yan to pamper ourselves. So, kahit um, nasa bahay lang tayo, deserve natin yan. Okay, next. Number 5, look for the good. Acknowledge and accept that the good and bad are often adjacent in the same moment in life. So a person can be sad about one thing, but be aware that there's goodness and happiness in the same moment about another thing. Intentionally look for those good things. Whatever thoughts we feed grow. So it can help to purposely think hopeful, realistic, and problem-solving thoughts. Look at the beauty amid the difficulties in life. So kahit na merong mga nangyayari sa atin or sa paligid natin na hindi maganda or hindi umaayon sa ating mga kagustuhan, we need to learn how to look for the good things. So look at the positive side of things instead na mag-dwell tayo sa mga negative na nangyayari sa atin. Number 6, exercise. Regular exercise and movement helps release build up fight or flight energy. Using bigger muscle movements can help release this energy so you feel calmer. Also, exercise releases endorphins, which are feel-good chemicals in the brain. Try jumping jacks, push-ups, walking and running, even cleaning the house or moving heavy boxes are good big muscle exercises. Stretching and yoga also are helpful in reducing stress. So, yun. Sino ba dito yung may mga TikTok, nanonood sa TikTok? Meron akong isang pina-follow doon na ang mga content niya is yung mga basic exercises na gano'n. So yun, madali lang siyang gayahin. Pwede niyo rin gayahin yun. Nakakatulong yun para ma-divert yung attention natin doon sa mga unwanted thoughts. So, regular exercise helps. So, kapag tayo ay nag-exercise, ang ating nervous system ay nagre-release ng endorphins. This will help us to cope with pain or stress. Ayan. 7, meditate. Meditation, mindfulness, and breathing exercises are good ways to release stress. Now is a good time to learn these approaches and incorporate them into daily habits. So any quiet place is a place for meditation. So you can just sit quietly inside your home, your room, anywhere basta tahimik. So one of the good examples of meditation is praying. Kasi while we are praying, we are thinking deeply, and sometimes while we pray, nagkakaroon tayo ng realization. Number 8, reflect. COVID-19 enables people to reflect on what is truly important and express gratitude. When life returns to normal, do you want to go back to how things were before, or will you reprioritize some things in your life? So, during this time, we realize things that are truly important to us and things that we needed to prioritize. Like for example, yung paglabas-labas lang natin, paggala, pupunta ng mall. Di ba ngayon, with restrictions, kailangan nakamask. kailangan alert tayo, kailangan safe tayo, no? Dati hindi natin na-appreciate yung mga ganyang bagay, but now, na-appreciate natin siya kasi hindi na natin magawa ng kung free tayo, no? May mga restrictions. Okay, next is number 9. Challenge your self-talk. So how you think affects how you feel. Anxiety can make you overestimate the danger in a situation and underestimate your ability to handle it. Try to think of different interpretations to a situation that's making you anxious rather than jumping to the worst case scenario. Look at the facts for and against your thought being true. After all, anxiety is based in an uncertainty around and fear of the future or what might happen next. So sabi nga nila, masyadong advanced daw mag-isip. So, masyadong advanced daw mag-isip, no? So, why not focus on the present situation rather than focusing on the future that may not happen. So, minsan kailangan natin tigilan yung pag-iisip ng what if ganito yung mangyari sa future, what if ganito, ganyan. Another example niyan is nung kasagsagan ng all of us are dead, no? So, ang mga tao, ina-assume nila na kapag yan nga, nagpa-vaccine ka, ganyan, next thing we'll know, zombie ka na, no? In the future, magiging zombie ka. Ganyan. So, iwasan natin yung masyadong pag-iisip ng mga bagay na that may not happen, na hindi naman mangyayari, no? Okay, next. 10, reach out. So, everyone is in this together and that is a comfort. You are not alone. If you feel alone, don't be silent. Instead, reach out to a friend or healthcare professional. Many people are feeling the same way. If you communicate your hopes and fears and listen to others, it divides the burden and increases the connection. This decreases the sense of isolation and anxiety. So sometimes when we feel anxious, it's nice to know that we're not alone. Kasi minsan, kapag tayo ay nag-reach out sa ating friends or family, nalalaman natin na hindi lang pala tayo yung nakakaranas ng mga flooding of thoughts, mga unwanted thoughts, na most likely hindi naman mangyayari, yung fears natin, ganyan. So, sila din pala, meron din pala tayong mga kaibigan or family na nakakaranas ng gano'n. So, kailangan mag-reach out tayo sa kanila or sa iba na pinagkakatiwalaan natin because it brings us comfort in knowing that they feel the same. Pala, yung bigla mo na masasabi, hindi pala ako nag-iisa. Ganun. Sila din pala. Okay, let's proceed to helping someone with anxiety. So, sa paanong paraan naman natin matutulungan ang isang tao may anxiety? Number 1, ask if they want advice or just to be heard. Okay, so nagkaroon ng interruption. So yun nga, for number 1, ask if they want advice or to just be heard. So, minsan kasi saying something is enough without someone trying to solve our problems for us. So, enough na sa atin yung merong makikinig sa atin. No? Hindi kailangan magbigay ng advice basta makikinig sa ating problems or situations na kailangan nating i-open up sa iba. So number two is to listen patiently. So let your friend take their time in sharing. Don't rush them. Give them space to be heard and feel like you listen and understood. Okay, so yung mga sinasabi niya at ng ino-open up niya sa'yo, um, huwag kang mainip, no? Huwag mo siyang i-interrupt, hayaan mo lang siyang magsalita. Kumbaga, makinig ka na merong um, pagtsatsaga. Listen patient. Number three, don't judge. So, what makes one person anxious may be um, because of unwanted thoughts. So, anxiety, like pain, is subjective and must be seen from the other person's perspective, not yours. So, kung yung nakakaranas ng anxiety, ganito yung nafe-feel niya, huwag nating i-invalidate yung feelings niya dahil lang sa tingin natin para sa atin ay hindi gano'n yun ka-big deal. Okay? So, huwag natin silang i-judge. Makinig lang tayo sa kanila. Number four, empathize. So, we have to recognize their struggles and validate that what they are feeling is real for them. So you don't have to agree with them, to let them know you hear them and see how they are struggling. So we need to put ourselves into someone else's shoes. Ganyan. Ano kung sa atin to nangyari, anong nararamdaman ko, ano, ganyan. Maki-empathize tayo, no? Okay, so relate if you can, but don't take over the conversation. So, sometimes when you feel anxious, it's nice to know that we're not alone. So, relate with your friend on how you feel about it to normalize their emotions. But be careful not to shift the focus of the conversation to make it about yourself instead. So, minsan kasi hindi nakakatulong kung sasabi na, ako naman ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So, yung topic, napunta na sa'yo, no? Kumbaga, hindi naman ikaw yung focus ng conversation, pero naging about you na kasi para sa akin, ganyan. No? Hanggang sa sa'yo na na-shift yung yung conversation. So, iwasan natin yan. Pwede tayong makarelate, pero huwag natin sapawan, no? Huwag tayong bida-bida dun sa friend natin na nanghihingi na gusto lang makinig ka doon sa mga ino-open niya sa'yo. So, number 6, make yourself available. Try to prioritize important people in our lives makes them feel important and safe na lumalapit sila sa atin. So, if you can talk right when your friend needs you, let them know when you'll be reaching out and be sure you follow through. Okay, so kung hindi ka man available, sabihin mo sa friend mo na hindi ka available. Pero if you are available, then kumustahin mo sila, ganyan. Kamusta ka na? Anong pakiramdam mo ngayon? Anong iniisip mo? Anong nararamdaman mo? Diba? If you're available, then make time for them. Number 7, thank them. It's hard to ask for help or let people know when we are struggling. So let your friend know you appreciate them trusting you and coming to you and that they aren't being a burden in doing so. So, lahat naman lahat ng tao, meron silang time na nahihirapan sila na i-open up yung struggles nila sa ibang tao. Pero the fact na inopen sa'yo ng friend mo itong topic na 'to kahit nahihirapan siya, meaning pinagkakatiwalaan ka niya. So, thank them na, ginawa nila yun, na nag-open up sila sa'yo, 'no. Number 8, check back in later. So, follow up with your friend a few days later and see how they are doing. It's nice to know that people care and are thinking about you after the fact. So we get over the difficulties of others faster than they do, and it helps them to know they are not forgotten. So, ganyan. Minsan kasi, pag nag-open up ka sa friend mo, wala nang follow-up yun, no? Wala nang follow-up. Basta nasabi niya na nakapagbigay ka na ng advice. Pero, sa tao na merong anxiety, is malaking tulong yun na after all ng pag-open niya sa'yo ng struggles niya, makakamustahin mo siya from time to time, no? I-check mo siya, no, na-appreciate yun. Kahit sino ma-appreciate yung ganun. So, offer to help. Number 9. So, don't just tell your friend na kung meron kang kailangan, sabihin mo lang sa akin. So, no one feels comfortable taking people up on that. So, offer to help in a specific way in which you're willing to help that's related to their need or anxiety. So, invite them to call you again or set up a video call. Number 10, give advice only if requested. So if your friend wants advice or feedback, give it to them, but do so in a limited manner. So don't bombard them with too many different ideas at a time, because this will only overwhelm them. Also, don't take it personally if they don't follow your advice. Remember, it's about them, not you. So, yun. Minsan kasi, hindi lang dun sa mga taong may anxiety, kundi lahat in general, lahat ng tao. No? Hindi lahat ng binibigay nating advice ay sinusunod, no? Nasusunod or gagawin nila, because as a person, as an individual, magkakaiba tayo ng perceptions or magkakaiba tayo ng way ng pag-handle ng ating problems or your struggles natin sa buhay. So, respect them kung hindi nila nasunod yung advice mo, no? Basta at least nakapag-share ka sa kanya. Kumbaga, hindi naman sa na isang walang bahala yung advice mo, kundi nakatulong ka din para ma-weigh nila yung options nila, kung anong gagawin nila. Yun. Then, 11, encourage connection. So, encourage your friend to reach out to other people they may know as well. So, as much as you want to be support or a supportive friend, being their sole support isn't a wise decision. So, during times of uncertainty and anxiety, it's good to have and utilize a support system, no? So, mas marami, mas maganda, no? Minsan, hindi naman nangangahulugan na marami talaga siyang pag-open up ng mga thoughts niya, ganyan, or yung struggles niya. Maganda pa rin na hindi lang ikaw yung pwede niyang lapitan, kundi meron pang iba, no? So, encourage them na mag-open up sa iba na pwede nilang pagkatiwala. Okay? Number 12, don't assume. Let your friend tell you what they think and feel. Don't assume that you can read their mind based on your own perspective of them, no? So, kapag nasa-struggle yung kaibigan, parang huwag ka mag-assume na, Hindi niya na need ng hindi niya na need ng ng advice or hindi niya na need ng makikinig sa kanya kasi naman yan, strong naman yan, ano? Pero huwag kang mag-assume, malay natin, yung nararamdaman niya, kailangan niya pala ng makikinig sa kanya. Okay? So, yun. That's the end of our webinar entitled Managing Anxiety During Trying Times. So, thank you all for participating in this last webinar. So, again, stay safe and God